Hi, welcome to this orientation to your Brightspace/Achieve course. So you may be taking this course online or face-to-face. So I'm going to be talking about maybe some differences that you will see based on whether it's an online or face-to-face course. Also, you may see a little bit different layout and design, or not as much layout and design, but maybe the names of some of the modules will be different. That's because this is a generic walkthrough of where you can find things and how all the linkage and all that works. It's not necessarily specifically going to be your class in particular. So again, this is just letting you know how to navigate and get around the system and all of that, right? So in front of you is our course landing page. Let me go ahead and switch this to view as a student so it looks a little bit more like what you're going to see. So you're going to see a section up here of announcements. I will have just, maybe not this many announcements, but these are generally the announcements that I usually load up. I also will put an announcement if something has changed in the course, or, if I'm going to be gone, if it's a face-to-face course, I will email you, but also oftentimes we'll put up an announcement with that information there too. So again, don't use it a whole lot, but it is a place where you can find information that could help you throughout the semester. Over here, you're going to see your SSC email. Now, this actually now might be at the bottom. Excuse me. This is an older course shell that I like to do demos in, but some of the newer course shells, it looks like they've moved that email link to below the calendar. But if you click this right here, it will take you to your SSC email. Now, you might have to sign in, but again, that's an easy way for you to grab the email. You'll also see a course calendar that will have the different activities listed that are due. You can see here, like this says quiz. So what I do is I try to put a label in front of the assignments. If there isn't something that says quiz or writing or essay or something like that, so it's like what is narration, then this is probably just a reading. So sometimes I might have a link that the only thing you have to do is just click it and read. Other things you'll actually have to submit something for a grade. So but again, you can see that if you click calendar, you could actually go in and view things like, let's say you want the list. So you just want to see everything that's due the entire semester that's already on the schedule. Or you can just do what is due today. Or if you can see here, I can click the 18th. Something is due the 18th. I can scroll down and then I can see what that is more specifically. So there's a lot of ways for you to actually see the due dates and stuff. Um, but I'm going to show you on the content page the easier way to find out what's due any given day. So here is your navigation menu for Brightspace. So this will take you right back to this page. Content is where you're going to do most of your work in this semester. And so that I wish I could make that the landing page because that's where everything is listed, in the order that we'll do it. If there are discussion boards, this is where you can find those. Under activities, you can go directly to all of the assessments or tests and quizzes that are assigned. There might not be anything uploaded here. There's nothing here, but again, there are most of the testing and quizzing will be done in Achieve, but there are about 4 or 5 things that I do in Brightspace. So you don't actually have to worry about that. That'll be linked in the weekly course schedule for you just to click and it'll take you to the right place. But this is another place for you to go just to see what's going on. Under My Tools, you can see the grade book. So you click that and it'll take you to what you're doing in the class. The rest of these, not really that essential. So we're going to go up here to content. Oh, up here is your waffle. So this will show you all of the courses that you're enrolled in at the college. This will show you any changes that have been made, et cetera, et cetera. So on the content page, this is where you're going to find most of what you need to get through the class. There will be, of course, schedule. So if you go up to course schedule and you hit full schedule, it will list everything that has a due date assigned to it. All right. Overview. Well, you can't see that there. Let me quickly go to another class and you can see what the overview looks like. So overview, you'll actually get a PDF of the weekly course schedule. So if you like to print that out, you can see week by week or day by day, depending on the way the course is, everything that's due, right? So that's another thing that makes it easy to kind of navigate. And that again will be um, on your content page. So you're going to see a Start Here module that's going to basically for that click you to how to register for the Achieve code. So in this class, we have our LMS, our learning management system, that's Brightspace, and that is your main way that you're going to navigate everything. But integrated into Brightspace are links to Achieve, right? And that is it's kind of another LMS, if you will, but it doesn't, it's not as flexible as Brightspace. So I don't want you really using it to navigate. I want you to still use Brightspace because it's just not as easy to get around. My students found this summer. But when you go here, you can see this will show you what's due this week, what's past due, and you can click that and it'll go right into the quizzing pane and you can take that. You'll also find over here, let me do student preview. You'll also find here the ebook, right? So this is our text. You only have to purchase the ebook. You don't have to purchase the print textbook. So when you buy the Achieve course code for like about $46, that includes an e-version of Patterns for College Writing, which is the textbook for this class. You could also buy the bundle from the bookstore that has the Achieve code with the ebook plus the physical copy of the book if you like a physical copy. That's going to run you closer to $96, right? But as long as you have, if you're a face-to-face class, as long as you have your cell phone or a laptop where you can access the ebook, if we need to look at it in class, then the ebook is fine. A little bit cheaper too, but this is what it looks like. So you can, look at anything that's in there. Now we use this book for Comp 1 and Comp 2. So we're only going to be working in the first half of it in terms of the chapters. And then of course there are sections on MLA style, as well as there's a student companion that can help you things with time management. We'll be looking at those in class. And then there's an appendix, right, with sample papers. You have sections on punctuation, grammar, mechanics. So again, those are all things that you could actually look at even if I don't assign them. You can go into the ebook in Achieve, but I will create links to every single thing. So if you see here, so this is one chapter, but the ebook has links to every section in the chapter. So you're going to find a link to each one of these sections that I want you to read. I might not want you to read, we're not reading the visual text, so you're not going to find a link to this part of the chapter. So you're just going to see the things that I specifically want you to read, right? Now you'll notice my page here is highlighted. Yours will not be. This is the way I highlight. Yellow basically means that it's an important concept. Green is like a listing of concepts underneath that, like 1, 2, 3, bullet points, right? But to do that, you can mark up your own text. You just highlight and then you get, these choices of color. You can also add a note that will always be right there, or you could even have it read aloud.
In some essays you write personal narratives or descriptions.
So again, there is a how to use the ebook, right, for students. So you can, look at that and see all of the ways that you can customize this. I mean, you can change the font, you can change the background, you can change the spacing. So again, let's say I don't like that one font, I can do this and I can change those kind of things, right? So, or you can reset to publisher's formatting if you find out, oops, I really messed up, right? So, and this right here will always bring up the reader as well.
Chapter 16 Finding and Evaluating Sources.
Yeah. So, and then if you don't want this little panel over here, you just click that and it'll spread that out. this will take you to the very next section. But again, I might not have assigned you that section. So you need to just look at what I've linked to. But usually I assign most of the things in the chapter. It's just the individual readings that they provide. They might provide 6 or 7 sample readings, and I'm only going to have you read maybe 2 or 3 of those. So, but you're free to read as much as you want. Okay, so the next thing you're going to see in the start here is the weekly course schedule. And so you're going to get to that page and then you're going to hit that. And you're going to see basically driven by week usually. You're going to open that to see what we're doing in week 1. Now, if you're an online class, it's probably going to look very much like this. There's not going to be like broken down by Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Tuesday, Thursday. Usually everything is just kind of due at, there'll be a due date. Like if I click introduce yourself, of course, and that's not one thing that I imported, you're going to see, the due dates themselves when you click on the item, but you know that all of this stuff is either due this week or we're starting. So if you just usually read, right? um, it says you can take the post test. That's not due next week. So that'll let you know that, well, the post test isn't due until next week, right? But these are usually things, right? You'll see like a due date sometimes listed there. These are usually things that are going to be due this week. Either it's a reading or it's a quiz or it's a writing of some kind. If you're in a face-to-face class, you're going to actually see Tuesday, Thursday, Tuesday, Thursday, Tuesday, Thursday under even week. So you know exactly what are we covering on a Tuesday, what are we covering on Thursday, right? But again, you'll see all of the links that you'll need. You may not have Zoom links if that's not part of your class, so that won't be there. But again, I try to give you a heading to show you what we're doing. And then that's the way that you want to navigate. You go there, you'll see everything you need to link to in that week, right? You'll also see an Achieve orientation page. So this is going to have links to readings or resources that will help you get to it. So if you click student registration, um, again, sorry, this is just a demo course, so some of these links don't work, but that will take you to getting registered for Achieve. It's really important to note that you have to register through our Brightspace page. So I'm going to give you a link to our course. You're not going to go to Achieve and sign up there and use a course code that I provide, right? You link through it so it's a lot easier. And again, this is going to show you how to do that. Another thing that you're going to find is the Brightspace orientation, and this video is part of that Brightspace orientation. And so you're going to see, again, here are all of the readings, right? Practices, links to videos, that kind of stuff. And then when you go back to the main page, you're going to see anything that's assigned. So you'll get a DB post if you're in an online course. There'll be an online student agreement as well as an overview quiz of this video. So that's all there as well. Now, again, when you go up here to weekly course content, you're going to see the link to the Brightspace orientation that lets you know. So here's the link to the quiz, the discussion board, and the online student agreement right there as well. So something else that you're going to find is just a module that says the Achieve content. So here, if I've given you any extra credit quizzes, I might have them separated here so it's easy for you to find them. If you have any graded assignments, so that'll be like writing assignments and quizzes, those will be linked. And then you're going to see basically the main modules of that we're studying and the links to any readings, like right here. Here are the links to those kind of things. These are going to be more robust in your class. Again, this is just a demo class, so it's just showing a little bit of stuff, but that will be there as well. And then, and you can actually click then the individual module if you want. And then if I have any videos available to you, which I do have for most of the chapters, um, even if you're not in the online class, if you missed that lecture, if you just want to hear again what I've said, then this is going to be a place for you to go and find that content. Okay, so let me show you um, again this is the just the demo of how the links work. So you're going to find the syllabus, right? So and then you're going to have to do the pre-write. So you're going to click pre-write. Let's hope it works. Sometimes I don't have an option of seeing yeah, this isn't giving me a student preview, but this is, again, you're going to see the assignment prompt, and you're going to be able to uh, write your paper. For some reason this isn't letting me, so let me go here, let me go back, and I'll show you what that looks like in a student preview. Okay, so here's what it should look like. Okay, yeah, so sorry, I clicked out. Okay, so this is what you're going to see. It's going to give you the prompt, and you've got three choices of what you can write about, right? And then you can see the instructions here again. And if you want to see the general rubric, you can click that. You're going to see Start Final Paper. And this is going to open up then the word processor in Achieve. And it's really great. It works just like a word processor regularly. So if you want to import a paper, let's say you've been using Google Docs or you're using the DOCX, right? You can come here and we'll just do that. You can actually import it, right? And it will go ahead and put it in there for you, right? Now you might have to come back and do a little bit of, you know, fiddling with, make sure your formatting is correct. If you're not using Google Docs or Word, so if you're looking like Pages on a Mac, then you can copy and paste, or you can just type your paper right here. You can see you've got all of the things that you'll need to do it correctly, right? So I can go over here to MLA Style Builder, and I can say I need a page header, so I'm going to put my last name, or you're going to put your last name, and then I'm going to put what page this starts in. So it's going to be, and they want you, so you can hear type to insert page number in the header, right? So you're going to put your page number within the greater than, less than signs, right? If this has a works cited requirement, then you do that, and you can do your works cited right here, and it's automatically set up to do your works cited in the proper style, right? But otherwise, you're just going to come in. Okay, so that's obviously too big. So you can see this is on heading, so I want to go to normal text, right? All right, and then I'm going to come up here and center, and this is where I would title my piece. And I'm going to come back here, and then I can hit tab, and then I can start writing my essay. Right. And then if I want to make sure that everything is great, I can come up here and I can make sure that my line spacing is correct, right? It's kind of defaulted to the proper right line spacing, so that should be okay. You can do a word count, right? You can also insert links and all sorts of stuff, right? Most of the stuff you don't really need to use, but again, it's there. Like, let's say I want to do just, right. Okay. So when you're done, right, you're going to say done, start reflection. There's just a little question that reminds you, yes, you were given all of the information. You're going to submit your draft, right? And then I can view the final paper, right? Now this does something weird. It does that. I don't count off on that because I don't know why it's showing the, you know, but you should be able to download your paper, and I can download it as well if I need to grade it. But again, you can come back. It didn't let me do this a while ago. There was some kind of, I don't know why it's doing that. I think there's just some kind of glitch, but it says, well, maybe, no, it's, Yeah, I don't know why it's not doing that because I've downloaded them in the past with no problem. So I think there just is something, maybe because I'm in student um, view. That might be why. So if I take off, okay, so you should be able to, find your paper. You can go back and redo it if you want. But then when I get it, I look at submissions, right? Of course, it's not letting me do it. Okay, so there's something weird about that, but it should allow you to download your paper. It should allow me to download the paper, so you can have a copy, or you can just come back in and copy paste. If for some reason you have submitted it and you've made a mistake, you can email me and I can unsubmit it for you, which will allow you to fix it and upload a new paper. Obviously, things can happen before the deadline is reached, or I might notice that you've missed something really important and I might email you and say, hey, would you like me to give you a chance to fix this very quickly? If so, I will revoke your submission and it'll give you a chance to upload, right? But again, this is just a really great way to do your papers, and then I grade them in here as well. So it's an all-inclusive kind of thing. You don't have to worry about having a word processor that works or anything like that. Okay, so another type of Achieve link that you'll see is the linking to the actual ebook. So you're going to click that, and then it's going to go right to that particular section in the chapter in the book. You're not going to see the whole chapter. Each of these links take you to a different section within the chapter. So if you see a bunch of readings, realize that some of these are this is all it is, right? It's very, very small, so um, it's not huge, right? And again, I can highlight, do all of those things there as well. So this is the actual taking you to the actual essay instructions to write the essay paper. So again, it's just like that pre-write. You're going to see all of the information that you need to complete the assignment. And you can print those off if you like a hard written copy. So here is a reading. So this again is in our ebook. This is one of the sample exemplification essays. So you can read it, and then there will always be a quiz for any kind of sample essay. So I'm going to say quiz, and then we're going to see the student, right? So you're going to have usually 5 questions. So you just read it and then come down to the next question, and then come down to the next question. And then I can hit submit, right? And if I've decided, oh, I'm not sure, I can say quit, keep working, and I can, until the quiz is closed, I can come back if I haven't submitted and I can change that. It also should allow you to, for some reason, I don't know why it's not, but it should allow you to look at the actual textbook, so you can open up the story and look for the answers, right? So it's supposed to allow you to use the resources. So okay, the other things that you're going to see are some diagnostics. So again, depending on the type of course you're in, all students will take a practice test just to give them a sense of their strengths and weaknesses. It's like a 5-point completion grade for the practice test, right? So you're just going to go there and you're going to answer questions about sentences, right? Or reading comprehension, okay? And then you're going to get like a performance overview. If you're in a co-requisite course, you are then going to be assigned a study plan based on the results of your practice test. So you want to make sure you do as good as possible. Don't just kind of answer randomly because you don't care. The more you don't care, the more study plan you might have to do, right? And so the study plan is going to be built based on your specific answers to that practice test, right? So you will have, like here, you did not, you might not get assigned some of these things. Again, it's just how many you're assigned is based on how well you did. You will have, if you're in the co-rec, you will have a deadline to complete all of your study plan at a 75% grade or higher, right? And if you do not get that finished, then you will not pass the class. And if you don't pass the 0203 class, you don't pass the Comp 1 class. So again, that's how we do the remediation for the co-requisite. And then after you do the study plan, you will take then the final test for those same four practice tests, right? And so that is worth then a much bigger grade. You can see in your particular course what that grade is worth, right? So again, all students take the practice and final exam because that's your final exam part of it, but only co-requisite people in the 0203 class takes the study plan. All right. So that's pretty much the way you'll link. And again, these I just had here as a demo, but all of this will be right there in that weekly schedule so that you can see, oh, this week I'm supposed to be working on all of this, right? So I hope that helps. Um, just to reiterate again, work through Brightspace. Don't just go to Achieve and, you know, work through that way because, again, it's not you can see here that all you have really are the assignments, but you don't have the narrative, if you will, about how to do those assignments or if there are any readings that go along with it, right? And there are also some limitations that I'm not going to even go into that make it difficult for me to create a really well designed navigation system in Achieve. So that's why we're using Brightspace. So that's the best way to figure out what's going on and make sure that you're not missing anything, right? So I hope that helps. You should be working on then reading the syllabus and doing some whatever orientation and first week activities I have signed. That's usually the pre-test for the plagiarism quiz, the pre-write, and then the orientation assignments are usually what you have to do week one. You also have the diagnostics, but those are assigned in week one, but those are not due until the beginning of week two because enrollment is still open. So you still have a little time to get into the diagnostics and get those done. So again, just check on the schedule to see when everything is due and you'll be good. So if you have any questions, please reach out to me. My office, if you're on campus and want to see me face to face, is in Tanner Hall, number 612. My office extension is 274. And of course, you can email me at k.mcbride@sscok.edu. If you leave me a message on my voicemail on my phone, then that gets shuttled to my personal cell phone. So I will get that. But probably the best way to contact me is via email. Sometimes students will leave a message on the phone, but their cell phone cuts out, or I don't understand what they're asking, or they'll forget to even tell me who they are. So I have no idea who's asking the question. So an email from your student account, you have to communicate through your student account. An email is usually the best way, and then we can kind of track and all that, and set up a face to face or a Zoom. If you cannot come to my office during office hours, then you can always just ask to do a face to face Zoom meeting so we can still talk and you can share your paper with me if you want help that way as well. So I hope to see you all, and I'm really looking forward to the semester and hope you are too. Bye bye.